Number 4. Okay, so Unit 3, topic number 5 is the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, when we're using the Pythagorean theorem, we're going to be using a right triangle. So I have a right triangle over here. I know it's a right triangle because I have the little box in the corner, which means it's a 90-degree angle. The most important side of this triangle is the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is always going to be across from the 90-degree angle. Okay, we call A and B the legs. Okay, now what is the Pythagorean theorem actually? The Pythagorean theorem says c squared, when I square the hypotenuse, that has to equal a squared plus b squared. So when I'm going to use this formula, I'm going to plug something in for C, something in for A, and something in for B. Okay? Let's look at 2 example problems together. Alright, so the first example, notice it says we're finding the missing side length x. And so I'm looking for the length of this side. Across from the right angle, that's my hypotenuse, so I'm going to label that C. I actually don't care which one I call A and B. Those can be interchangeable, but for now let's call 3A and 4B. This is a right triangle, so I know that I can use the Pythagorean theorem. So I know that c squared equals a squared plus b squared. And now, what can I plug in for c? Well, c is x, so that's going to be x squared. That's going to equal a squared, which is 3, so 3 squared, plus b squared, b is 4, so plus 4 squared. Simplifying this, remember that exponents come before addition, so I have to do 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9, plus 4 squared, 4 times 4 is 16. Now I can add these two together, and I can say that x squared is going to equal 25. Alright? At this step, when I'm trying to figure out what number squared is 25, I'm thinking what number times itself. Well, that's the square root. So to undo the square, I'm actually going to take the square root. Whatever I do to the left, I have to do to the right, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. What we know from Algebra 1 is that a square and a square root undo each other, and I'm left with just x on this side. And now we know from previous classes that the square root of 25 is 5. So I've solved for x, and I am done. Alright? Let's do one more example. My first step, I have a right triangle, I have 2 sides, I'm missing 1. Let's use the Pythagorean theorem. Here we have my C, my hypotenuse. A and B, doesn't matter. Let's call A up there 6, and B is going to be 8. Okay? Remembering I can use the Pythagorean theorem. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. And let's plug these in. X squared equals A is 6, so that's 6 squared, plus B is 8, that's 8 squared. Exponents come first, so that's going to become 6 squared is 36, 8 squared is 64. When you add those together, I think we get 100. 64 plus 36. And then remember, at this step, to undo a square, we can take the square root, and I get that x equals 10, and there's my answer. Alright? We're going to use this in the next topic, so you can head on over to topic number 6, the next video.